Hey, Sivas, Caleb here. Have you ever wondered what sound actually does? I mean, sound, it obviously has power. I mean, you just jumped, right? But what is sound? Exactly. Sound actually carries energy. Energy is put into the air around us whenever you speak. Whenever you use your vocal cords, they vibrate, and that vibration carries through all of the air around you, creating sound. Now, some sounds are really loud, and some sounds are really soft. So, we have to consider, what if a sound got way too much energy? Well, actually, there's something called the speed of sound. Sound travels on Earth in air at about 700 miles per hour. So, if you created sound that had too much energy, we get what we call a shock wave. Now, a shock wave only happens when you have something going either supersonic or exploding. In either case, something is going faster than the speed of sound, and it doesn't give the air molecules time to actually vibrate, and instead they are just pushed, and that push travels through the air even faster than the speed of sound. You'll be able to see it in this video right here. Okay, so if shockwaves are a real thing, and you saw they moved things, sound actually has the energy to move things. And what's crazy is we have planes that travel faster than the speed of sound. So if a plane travels faster than the speed of sound, it creates this shockwave. Well, what happens on land when a plane flies overhead? Well, you might be able to recognize it when a military plane flies overhead. You'll actually feel the earth shaking. You'll feel the air around you shaking. So, doesn't that cause damage? The answer is yes. Sound causes damage. So, what did the federal government do? They stopped commercial airplanes, so the planes we fly, from creating supersonic booms or these shock waves that could actually damage a whole bunch of property. If you look at this map, you'll see that all of the United States gets covered by planes every single day. So, what can we do to solve this issue? It turns out a team at NASA and Lockheed Martin, which is a special defense contract private-owned company that specializes in a whole bunch of things, actually teamed up together, and they invented this. This is the X-59 aircraft. This plane is able to produce a sonic boom, but instead of that shockwave coming towards your ground, it instead goes towards the sky. Yes, they designed the wings, and they designed the nose, and they designed the placement of the engine so that all of the sound goes up instead of down. And so now what you would hear, instead of a boom like it was a thunderstorm, you would instead hear the sound of your car door closing across the street. Pretty cool. And so, what is this actually leading to? Well, a whole bunch of companies are actually starting to build planes that are designed like this. They have longer noses that break up the sonic shockwave, and they have engines on top of the plane that cause the sound to go up instead of down. All of these design features are all due to advancements in technology. They now, instead of using metal to build planes, are using composites, which are basically a whole bunch of special sorts of fabrics and materials woven together to produce new custom materials that can do what no material in the past could do. Isn't that cool? Now, What this means is you might be flying a plane faster than ever in the future. You could travel from New York to London in 2 hours. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a pretty crazy idea. And what about the question of, okay, if you're using a plane to go faster, don't you use more fuel? The answer, yes. But all of these companies are promising net zero emissions for the future so that you can fly those planes without feeling bad about it. And maybe it'll cost a little bit extra, but I might be willing to pay that just to get to Hawaii that much faster. Seems pretty bright, don't you think?